Before we start, I want to take you back with me to 6 years ago with the moment that I experienced that it was full of fear, anxiety, and everything. And luckily for me, Apple made a video that represents this. Watch this. Oh, the audio is not working.
Where are you? Where are we? Where's the presentation?
I thought the meeting was at 10.
It is. I just got here a little early, put the finishing touches. You were meant to send it on Friday.
Did you share the presentation yet?
I am about to share it.
Wow, is that their office?
Oh, yes. Check this out. It's ginormous.
That's like 100 floors. Great, now I'm even more nervous.
Guys, this is a game changer, okay? We're gonna crush this meeting. So don't be late, and Dave, don't wear cargo shorts.
I'm changing.
Guys, I gotta go. My Mac. The presentation.
Yeah, boy! Easy money!
And that was me, 3 days before I was moving here to Germany. But instead of having my computer away, it was my phone with all the login credentials, all the access I needed to have a smooth moving abroad. So I did what every human would do at that moment. I panicked for 6 seconds. Then strategy braining kicked in. I said, okay, I'm going to start tracking my phone. Where is it? Started checking, opened the screen there, and definitely it was moving there on the map. I immediately said, it's gone. Nothing that I can do. What am I going to do? Then my mom started watching the screen, and then she comes and says, daughter, no, your phone is on a bus route. That's a bus route. Are you sure, Mom? Yeah, I know it. All right, go catch it. Okay, we'll do that. So I went directly with my sister and we started planning the strategy. What are we going to do? Okay, we go where the phone is closer to our area, we hop into the bus, we grab the phone and return. Done. Easy, right? No. The phone was on a dying battery. 20% was left and the battery was really bad. Thing is, in my city, 6 years ago, that's how buses look like. And there was no real stop like here in Germany. You could basically extend a hand and then stop, and maybe if there was too much traffic, the bus could not stop, meaning that when the phone was coming there could be the chance that the bus was crossing there and then gone. The battery is dead. Anyways, we said like we are going to push forward to it. So we started doing, okay, we go there, my sister decides to track my phone with her phone, we go, we wait. We start hopping into the first bus. My sister asks me, do you remember how the bus looks like? And I'm like, no, I don't remember. Oh, I remember that the bus has fabric chairs, it's not plastic. My sister goes like, okay, that's useful. First bus, plastic chairs, wrong bus. Second bus, fabric chairs, but a bit different. No, that's not the bus. Then third bus. No, wrong again. Fourth, fifth, nothing. I asked my sister, did we miss the phone? Is it gone? Then we checked. No, the phone is still far away. Let's hope that this is accurate. We go into the fifth bus. This looks similar. It has fabric chairs. All right. Then I ask my sister, where is the phone? She scrolls down, refreshes, the phone is here. I yell, okay, come on, just ping the phone. Then she presses the button and starts ding, 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 ding. And there it was in the bus. I could not believe myself. So I grabbed it. It was hidden behind a chair. And my soul came back to me. It was like really living a dramatic movie. And we really got the phone back, not because we got lucky, or maybe a little bit, but also because we got a strategy, we kept pushing ourselves, and then we kept trying. And I'm telling you this story because that's exactly how I felt my journey for becoming an engineering manager started. So that's why, hi, I'm Jessica Cabarcas, though I love to be called Jessie. And I started first as a senior Android mobile developer and then became an engineering manager of only backend engineers in fintech, a domain that I had no idea before. Before I worked in healthcare, I worked in sports apps, I worked in the passenger and driver app, and then it was this fintech thing that I had no idea. Later I was dealing with invoices, payouts, things like this. And you would ask me, yeah, and in those 6-8 months that you've been an engineering manager, what kind of feedback have you received? Well, I'm happy to tell you that my team and my manager have been really surprised and then having given me positive feedback about how I've been managing challenging situations. And that's why I'm here to tell you all the different strategies I did to move to engineering manager and then what I started doing to navigate those challenging situations during my role. So this is our agenda. First, we're going to go with leading with confidence. Then we move with thinking critically in the age of AI. And last, all the tools that I used to navigate those situations. So, leading with confidence. In this one, it is important for us to think about those moments where we don't really feel confident. Let's think about impostor syndrome. And think about it. Like, I was an Android engineer, then moving to lead only backend engineers, completely different domain. And you would ask, didn't you feel like an imposter? 100%. I was like, I hope what I'm doing is right. Like, it's totally crazy. And I was investigating many times, like, how I could go out of it. And there are different theories in NLP, the 4 stages. And today, the simplest I found was this Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger effect tells us, tells us the y-axis about the confidence, and then in the x-axis, the competence. How competent we are when we are in a skill. Once we start learning something, then we have this peak of Mountain Stupid. And it is only like this, like how it is called in this effect, if we go like, yeah, I know everything, there's nothing else I need to learn. That's none of us here. For sure, we are always learning. And that's when we start going into a little further away in the competence, and then we go down into this valley of despair. That's when imposter syndrome kicks in. And you say, oh, no, things are not so good as I imagined. But in reality, you know more than when you started. So you are actually competent. How to really get out of this fearing situation? Well, you keep pushing yourself. You really keep expanding your knowledge. And that's when also AI tools come to our help. So same as humans, for example, this is a human strategy. More likely you know how your learning process is. But one of the things I love is to explain certain topics into different categories. Same as humans. There is this famous video on YouTube from Wired where this astrophysics explains gravity, a rather complex topic, in many different levels. So that's exactly something we can do with AI. This is an example of a prompt. Whatever your favorite language model, you go and tell it, oh, please explain this topic to me, and translating it to code. For example, in junior engineer level, middle engineer, staff engineer, senior, you name it. And then you would ask, yeah, I don't know, Jessie, can I actually trust the results of those things? I'm not so convinced. And then I would tell you, that's so right. You got a great point. That's what we go into the second point of our agenda. And that is thinking critically, now more than ever, how important it is in the age of AI. And that's why I brought with me an AI critical thinking kit. So the first tool in our kit, I love those kits or gadgets, is a few-shot prompting technique. Same as humans, AI learns with different techniques. So for example, let's say in this simplest analogy, I'm going to teach, or I want this AI model or this robot to prepare some cappuccino. what I would do is first I prepare one cappuccino, and then I maybe add some decoration, and the next cappuccino, I change my decoration a little bit in the best barista mode, then the next one, and then AI will probably give me a result that matches more what I thought it. Next one in my kit is the chain of thought. With the chain of thought, it's I really want AI to tell me your thinking process. And again, talking about like an analogy, let's say that yesterday we wanted to go to code.talks to the party, and then I say, show me how to get to the party. And if AI would only bring the answer, then it would say, here it is. But that's not what I want. I want to know how to get there. Or how would AI get to know how to get there? And again, this is an analogy. I know Google Maps or things, all the maps have been always working there. It's just to bring this as an example. So if AI starts showing me the process, then I would have it clearer how to go there. And we are going to see practical examples later. And last, which is my favorite, it's about comparing models. Now more than ever, there are lots of AI models racing. There is always a new one. This thing is constantly changing. So I love to compare models. And if you want to know something really funny, some time ago I was chatting with one of my friends, and then I wanted to tell her about something related to a seahorse. Maybe you already know it. Thing is, you could ask as well to ChatGPT, this GPT-5, hey, is there a seahorse emoji? I could not find it in my keyword. But then you get to see GPT spiraling. Like, yes, of course, there is a seahorse emoji. Here it is. Oh, shoot, no, this is a dragon. No, drum roll, the next one. No, still a dragon. And it goes and it goes until I told it, hey, why don't you just tell me there is not? And then I asked the same to Gemini Pro. And Gemini, this is the 2.5 flash model. It immediately goes and explains me about the Mandela effect. And I'm not saying with this which model is better than other. I think that there are models that really exceed at certain topics where others exceed at others. And I really like about this. And talking about comparing models, then we can introduce our third topic in the agenda. And that is the different kinds of models that I used for AI. Before going into all those models, I want to have a big, huge, gigantic disclaimer for all of you. In your companies, please, 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 always use the AI models that are approved in your company. Because one of the things about thinking critically in the age of AI is also protecting security, GDPR compliance, and then we have in our companies those areas that visit those things, contracts, etc. So, although I'm going to show you more models, the only one that we have approved where I work, which is free now by Lyft, we have approved only Gemini Pro. And the other models, I've been using them for myself, to learn, to always get and push forward all the challenges that I put for myself. So, first one, let's start with ChatGPT. I started using it since it was released. So I'm going to tell you what I did at that time when it was on Model 3, Model 4, also as a career coach, because I was at some moment in a limbo. I was a senior engineer and a developer, and I didn't know how to move to engineering manager, and I felt at some point stuck, and what can I do? So I went with ChatGPT, got really great pieces of advices, like, for example, grab a mentor. So I grabbed a mentor. Attend to networking and leadership talks. So I did that. And that really helped me. And other than that, I started taking some small steps into my current role to showcase this leadership. And with that, I noticed that there were some repetitive tasks that I could have used some AI help to automate them. One of those, for example, was sending a message all the time to my team members saying like, hey, you are the Scrum Master of the week. But I didn't want to be this annoying one, Hermione style, hey, you are the one. No. Let's let AI do that. So there are different ways of solving this. What I did was to create a Google Sheet document, and with ChatGPT, I started creating the code on app scripts. And on the app script, then I created something like this. I'm not going to focus right now on the code. After the Q&A session, you will get access to all those resources that I'm showing here, so you will get this document with all this information and how to connect it directly with Slack in case you want to have a similar solution. Advantage of this if there is a change of shifts, anyone can go and modify the shift, and then it will continue working with integration. Now, for the part when I already moved to engineering manager, and I was in a completely different area, I want to bring something, before telling you what I did, something that Steve Jobs said 40 years ago. And I have a little bit of a clip, 2 seconds.
But I can't ask Aristotle a question. I mean, I can, but I won't get an answer. And so my hope is that in our lifetimes, we can make a tool of a new kind, of an interactive kind.
And paraphrasing what he says in all this video, because he goes and tells us more about it, is imagine a world where we could ask Aristotle a question, and it might answer right, it might not answer right, but the idea of it is exciting. And now, 40 years later, we have tools like this one, Gemini Pro with the Notebook LM. And I love this tool, especially I'm super happy that it's approved by the company, because what I did was to start learning about fintech domain. So for instance, I suddenly was invited to lots of meetings related to topics that I never handled before. Again, invoicing, payouts, things like this. So I put all the documentation, you name it, Confluence, Google Docs, transcripts from meetings. I put it there in this Notebook LM, and then I had my own Aristotle where I could really ask the questions. Say, hey, what happens when this? What if I do that? And not only that, but I could also create a podcast with AI voices. And it's fantastic because it goes into a really engaging thing. Like it starts with a hook, it has 2 hosts, they go ping pong asking questions to each other. And whoa, that was the fastest way for me to really go into understanding the domain and getting ready, prepared for my new role. And now, as well as an EM, we go into performance reviews, 360 feedbacks. So with that, I also went with the gems from Gemini. And with this gem, I started using my few-shot prompting, the one that we talked about before. So important here, because AI is our assistant, should never be our boss. I want to provide some examples in how I want to give the feedback to my team. So I did that, and also quite important, after getting the answer from this gem, I always review 2 or 3 times what I'm sending, because again, I'm the lead there, and I'm the one who has the gut feeling into what goes for my team. And what it really helps me is to go into this brain dump when I have so many thoughts and I don't know how to organize them. And then with this gem, I could get exactly the output in the way I want it, and then do some small tweaks depending on what I want. And for my last copilot, I really call it the creative copilot. And we've seen a little bit of vibe coding here. So now that I went into leadership, I also start entering into the phase of, okay, how can I bring people together? How can we have fun? And then Lovable kicks in with vibe coding, and I created a music bingo, which you will also get access. I bought the domain for sharing it with all of you, and you'll get it after the Q&A. There is a QR code, so in case you want to do it in Christmas, you get to generate all the PDFs with random songs that you want to try with your family, let's say Christmas songs. Then as an event manager, you go and connect them with Spotify, and then you randomly click a button, and then, whoa, it brings and plays the song right away. And not only that, but you also have a screen that you get to transmit a broadcast to your audience while they are playing there the music bingo, and you have those numbers. They don't know which song belongs to each number, so it's another tool to engage your audience and request a number. It's quite cool. And the best part of this, I use the chain of thought technique. So in Lovable, there is an option where you request or send a requirement, and it immediately creates or modifies the code. I didn't like that. When you force it to really tell you what it is going to do before implementing it, that's when magic happens, because we also reduce hallucinations, or we also get to use our developer expertise to tell it, hey, I want you to modify this, make this different and things, and then you have better results. Still, this is the creative part for me. prototype. Once you access to it, it's without ads, no tracking. I'm not tracking anything, so you can also send me a message on LinkedIn if you want some requirements, and we can definitely try that. Eventually, I would also open the GitHub repo. With all of that, what we've seen is that we can use all those AI tools that are always rising to learn faster, think deeper, build boldly, like those prototypes that we've been creating, and most importantly, focus on the people and create moments that bring people together. And in some minutes, we're going to have time for 2 to 3 questions. But first, I want to summarize what we've learned so far. One way of overcoming imposter syndrome is to keep pushing ourselves. Same as when I was trying to catch the phone, recover it from the bus, just keep pushing, keep trying. Something will pop up from it. And also, take small steps to really showcase leadership. The next one is think critically. We have tools like the techniques, the few-shot prompting technique, the chain of thought technique, and comparing models. So for us to always question ourselves, like, is this output correct? How can I improve it better? Because we are the ones managing the AI. And last, let's try all the tools. Like really use whatever tool is popping up. We always get to play. And now more than ever, I had, again, lots of fun when I started vibe coding and modifying things here and there. So that really helped me. And one last thought for this. AI, and I think it's also a topic from lots of the talks that I've seen, AI isn't here to replace learning, curiosity, or even less leadership. It is here to amplify us, amplify our capabilities. And with that, I want to kickstart the Q&A session with a question that I think many of you might have. And that is, Jesse, if I want to really move into engineering manager, but I'm overwhelmed by all the amount of AI tools that are out there, what do I do? I would say, yeah, that's a really great question. And thing is, although there is no one size that fits it all, what is important is that I'm going to tell you what I did and I believe could also work for you. And it's start stepping stones. Make one little step towards your leadership. Let's say you want to take the lead on an epic. You want to start coaching a group of people because you already know a topic. So go there, and most importantly, while doing all those things, use AI to simplify or automate those processes. And with doing all these things, you will also boost your visibility, your credibility, and the trust. Those things are quite important. And with that now, which other questions do you have?